I just made my life worse to show you how to put a locker axle back in if you pulled it out without tripping it in the cab, switching it in to hold it in. Okay, in this next clip, you can see it, but you can't see it. But I filmed it for you, you can watch it anyway. But I'm gonna try to explain it to you here. If you pull your axle before you trip it in there, that collar in there that shifts into your diff lock to make it wheel lock will drop down. In this clip, you can hear me, you can look in the axle, you can see the splines look like they're dropped down on the far side. Okay, what I'll do is I'll stick a bar in through here, lift up that collar. I'll tell my buddy in the cab to flip it in. Okay, when he does that, that'll hold the collar close to where it goes. It's not where it's supposed to be, but it's close enough that I can get my axle back into those splines. Okay, once I get it into those splines in the collar, hope this is making sense, I'll tell my buddy to release it in the cab. Okay, then I can move my axle around and push it on in the second set of splines in the axle gear in the diff. Okay, at that point, I can pull my sensor, I have a clip coming up, and engage this, flip the switch back in and put it in to hold it in exactly where it goes. And then you pull the sensor on this model, you run a jam bolt in, and it'll hold it in. Do you understand? Then I can pull the axle out and I'm good to go. Okay, as I explain later in the video, once I put the diff back in, I put my axle in, and then I can go up there and flip. Well, once I get my axle in, I can take my jam bolt out, and then that'll be good to go. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't get tongue-tied and screw you up. But right here's a little bit of clip of that. See if this helps you. All right, flip it in. All right. With axle in, the axle is in. Air pressure is on. Did you hear it click in? It is now in wheel lock. Okay, now screw your sensor out. This is the bolt I use. I'm not sure on its thread pitch, but this will screw right in here against the shaft. Do not use an impact. Screw this in. Good and snug. Now I can go take the air pressure off the switch, take my hose off, and I can pull this diff. Obviously you had to pull your axle back out. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. See, that bolt is drawn down on the shaft, holding the fork in. There isn't a lot of room to come out. I mean, you don't have a ton of extra room, so you have to come straight out with these lockers, but that's how you get them out. Okay, during reassembly, you'll leave it just like this until you put the axle back in, and then you can take your bolt out and put your airline and stuff back on. But we pulled this diff over the axle broke. Oh, yep. Would you have wanted that floating around with your differential? Not me. But yeah, I'll leave this on my big long bolts. I got plenty of room here. Hell, I got 12 inches or better. And I'll spend the time cleaning this housing and this side of the housing nice and clean and put it back and reseal it. I'd rather do this than to get this heavy rear in and out of there. With this, once I take that time and do that, it'll just slide right back in. To me, that's just the better way.